This is the Transformers Bumblebee Cyberverse Adventures Deluxe Class Soundwave. Now, we've never gotten these figures on regular retail. The first time we're seeing them on the shelves, and immediately they are on clearance for $12. And if you buy them at Toys R Us or Toy Kingdom, you get an extra 10% discount. So they come up to about just a little under $11 a pop. Being a big Soundwave fan, I'm a little bit excited to have this figure. I hope it doesn't disappoint. Let's get him out of packaging. And here is Deluxe Cyberverse Soundwave out of packaging, and well, it was bound to happen. I was praising both Starscream and Prowl so much. I had such high expectations for this figure that ultimately this figure just let me down. I'm sorry, but this figure was a bit of a disappointment. It feels cheap, albeit it does what it needs to do to represent Soundwave on the show. I mean, it looks like him on the show in this deluxe format, but the figure just feels so cheap. The transformation was, I think it was my least favorite out of all the deluxe figures. It's I don't know how to put it. This might go down as one of the worst Soundwave figures I've ever had. Anyway, let's take a closer look at this figure. Let's begin with some comparisons. Here is Cyberverse Soundwave with the Bumblebee movie Studio Series Soundwave, the Kingdom Core Class Soundwave, as well as the Netflix Earthrise Voyager class Soundwave. You can see where all the inspiration comes from. It has that G1 Soundwave vibe, and I actually like the blue color that they chose for this figure. It kind of gives you a reference, or it's kind of like the blue that they used for animated Soundwave, Transformers animated Soundwave, and it's just like a lighter version of the one they used for Robots in Disguise. But regardless of my complaints about this figure, the aesthetic and the whole design of the figure, at least in robot mode, on paper should have worked, and I like it. But I think execution-wise, they kind of dropped the ball. We'll talk about that in a little while. The figure does come with a few accessories. Let's begin with Laserbeak. I actually like this one. It really looks so much... They had a lot of inspiration coming from the G1 Laserbeak. It's a little simplistic, but you can see right here, this is from the Netflix Earthrise Soundwave. You can see the similarities, the legs. He's just missing the weapons array. But overall, I thought this was a very good representation of Soundwave, of Laserbeak, at least on the show. And what I like about it is you can actually transform Laserbeak into his cassette or data storage device or whatever. And again, this is an homage to the G1 Soundwave. You can put Laserbeak right there. And I guess on the show, they actually put that in. So I like that. That's one thing I do like. He does come with this weird looking blast effect. It's supposed to represent what we did on the show, and it's you can see there's a graph or I don't know, a sine wave or a cosine wave. I don't know, a sonic wave, but it plugs in here on this weird looking shoulder mounted satellite dish. I guess it was like that on the show, but the effect is kind of weird. I would have actually preferred just a normal, long strand of a booster blast effect, or I don't know. This one just, I'm not getting this. I'm sure this is how it looked like, but not for me. I could do well without it. He also comes with a shoulder cannon that duals as his gun. Would have been nice if they gave him two of these. One without the slot for the shoulder, so you could have a dedicated shoulder cannon as well as a blaster. On the figure, he has a huge back kibble. Now, normally I wouldn't be too annoyed with back kibble, but this one just, I don't know, it tips him over so much because the weight distribution is not properly done, and there's not enough heel spur to support that back cable. That's why you can see he's like on a hunched position. If you put him straight up, if you straighten the legs and, I don't know, try to stand him up with that backpack, it's a little difficult. I mean, considering the fact that it's so light, okay? You can see right here, the flimsiness of the plastic I was talking about. These pieces right here and right here, man, and I was praising the Starscream and Prowl for having such premium plastic, and for Soundwave, look how cheap this plastic is. Even the legs are supposed to be the ones that are more solid. It's soft and really feels like a knockoff. The only plastic that's pretty much a premium, that has a premium feel to it, are the feet and the forearms, as well as the thighs. That's it. Maybe this part too, but everything else, including the torso, the chest, the blue plastic feels very flimsy, and you can hear it. You can hear how light that plastic is compared to, I guess, what we had with Starscream and Prowl, maybe even Optimus Prime and Megatron. So that kind of sucks. And that to me was the first thing I noticed. Yeah, so back cable's not doing it any favors. I wish there was a way they could have folded it up. I mean, it is a Cyberverse figure, I get it, but there is a way to do this. You could have put a hinge right here and with a folded back, that cable wouldn't have been, I mean, it wouldn't have been too annoying, but yeah. And as you can see right here, there's a lot of details, I guess, from the show incorporated in the whole design. It looks great if you don't touch it, if you just leave it on the shelf. I mean, it works, but like I said, on paper, it's great, but it just felt lacking with the execution. Lots of hollow pieces here and there because of the transformation. You know, it's part of it. But yeah, the head sculpt, not a big fan of this one, to be honest. It does kind of look like the one on the show, but maybe they could have made it bigger. I don't know, or exaggerated a little bit more. I don't know. I could be wrong. This could be so accurate right now, so not a big fan of it. Articulation, the neck is on a swivel. You can ratchet the arms in and out, swivel it forward and backward. You got a bicep swivel, ratcheting hinge elbows. The wrists are on swivels. It's got a waist swivel, ball jointed hips. You can do the splits forward and backward. Thigh swivel, hinge knees, and the feet can go up and down and have a rocker tilt. To transform the figure, okay, you want to rotate the arms this way, biceps, just line them in the shoulder assembly or shoulder weapon assembly. You're going to fold it back like this, fold it inward like that, and tab it in. Then you want to lift this whole backpack, collapse it over that head, and tab it onto the chest. Keep these doors open. Shoulders, they're going to detach right here. And this one, I'm not a big fan of the transformation of the arms. Hands, you're going to fold them inward like this. And then the arms, you're going to fold them down. And here, it doesn't even clear it. You have to pop and then come back in and then come back in inward and then pop it back outward like that. I don't know how that happened, but so pop down, in, and then go back in and just tab that in. And see, it sort of forms the back part of the armored car, but it doesn't. Honestly, I don't even know why they kept it hollow. They should have just made it solid. There's no real purpose for making it hollow because the arms don't really fill it in. So you can complete the transformation of the backpack by folding the doors or the windows of the car, the armored car, like that. And you can see right here the differences in the plastic. The darker colored blue is the cheaper plastic. This is the, I guess, more premium plastic, but it's still cheap. I mean, I get it, it's a Cyberverse figure, but you know, come on. You've done, after they did Starscream and Prowl, I thought they were on the track to making really premium feeling figures, premium looking figures, but yeah. Okay, so this one, the back part, his rear end, you fold it up like this and like that. You want to rotate that waist assembly. Okay, you want to join the legs together and tab them again, but like I said, these Cyberverse figures have a notoriety for these pegs of doom. So instead of just tabbing them in, I suggest you just slide those pegs in. That'll save you some heartache with less plastic breakage, I think. And then the feet, fold them inward like that. And this whole leg hip assembly is going to fold down like this. And this is, I love that transformation. It just completes that whole undercarriage. And you can tab those legs on the backpack. And then finally the bumper, fold it up like this and tab it in. The laser beak gimmick you can still access it and work it even in car mode. So the cannon goes up here, and I guess the blast effect goes here. And it looks weird, so we'll remove that blast effect first. And there you go. There's Soundwave in his armored car mode. I mean, the armored car should look good. I mean, on design-wise, I like it. But when you scrutinize the car, you can see a lot of discrepancies. Like I said, the plastic just feels cheap. I'm willing to forgive this hollow space right here, although it didn't have to be hollow. That was just an easy way of doing it. But overall, it looks and feels very solid. It could use a few more paint apps here and there, but it should work. But again, hollow space right here, cheap plastic everywhere. It just feels... It's not that great. I mean, it's okay, but not super, unlike Prowl or Starscream. Some final thoughts on the Cyberverse Deluxe Sound Blast Soundwave. Well, I guess I didn't manage my expectations. It was my fault, but the figure was a bit of a disappointment for me. I was expecting a little bit more from this figure. On paper, I thought the design should have worked, but when it came to the execution, I think they fell a little short. Plastic quality wasn't that great. Transformation wasn't my favorite. So I'm going to give the figure a 6 out of 10. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think of this Bumblebee Cyberverse Adventures Sound Blast Deluxe Soundwave? Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.